So I don't know if you've ever read the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel. If you go to 1 Samuel 1, you'll find this particular story. Um, so with me, I always try to find myself in the scriptures, right? Like that is so important to me. And I wasn't expecting to find this. I was actually just trying to read 1 Samuel to get to a particular part of uh, the book that we were reading at church, but I wanted to read the whole entire book because I wanted to understand the history. But God still, of course, always shows me myself in the scriptures as He should. Okay, He's like, I didn't do all this work for you to create this love letter for you not to see yourself in the scriptures. And I'm like, okay, God. So anyways, I'm reading, and the first kind of lesson that you learn in this book is about a woman named Hannah, who is a loved wife, but she's childless, right? And her husband has two wives. I think his name's Elkanah. I can't really say his name right, but we're gonna call him E. He has a wife named Panay. We're gonna put Panina, and we're gonna call her Patty. Okay, so but every year E takes Patty and Hannah to this like goes into a sacrifice, and after that there's this like little ceremonial thing where you bless your family with portions of meat, and when Petty, when she gets her meat, she gets, she has children, so she gets her meat plus the meat of her children to give to her children. And then so she's sitting there and she getting all her stacks of meat, stacks on stacks on stacks. And then of course Hannah, every year she gets her portion, but she only gets her portion. And because E loved her so much, he gives her a little special portion. They call it a choice portion or a double portion in some scripture, but it's just one portion because it's just her. And this is the moment where, even though I feel like E probably loved Hannah a little bit more, even though she's loved by her husband, this is where Petty can get a little petty and be like taunting Hannah, like, oh, this is something that you don't have. You ain't got no children. So she would taunt her on this ceremony. This is the time of year where she taunts her, like, about her being childless. And so when I read this, the first thing that started coming into my mind was the fact that we have Valentine's Day coming up. And this Valentine's Day is usually my Hannah moment, like where I'm sitting in front of God and he's giving me so much throughout the year, because it's close to the beginning of the year. He's giving me so much throughout the last year. He's let me see another year, but I'm still looking at this portion, even though it's a double portion. I'm still looking at this portion like, but it's not what I want. What I want, God, and what I've been crying about, God, for years is a husband. And I see you do it for everybody else. I even see you do it for people who probably may not deserve it, but you don't do it for me. And so Valentine's Day being that moment for me, there's a part in the scripture that really tore me up, because I saw myself as Hannah. And so as I kept going on into the scripture, there's this one part, 1:8, that really like hit me. And E, her husband, says, "Why are you crying, Hannah? Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons?" And when I read that, I I heard my name through the whole thing. I heard God saying, why are you crying, Jamikula? Why are you downhearted because you don't have a husband right now? I never said no. You just don't have it right now. You know, and the you have me part was the part that just like broke my heart. Because to hear God, like, you got me. Am I not enough? And I think about when I'm out there in the single world or the dating world and I'm dating somebody and they're like, no, this is not going to work out. And I'm like, am I not enough? Why am I not enough? I jumped through hoops to prove that I'm enough. Why am I not enough? And so at that moment, I'm like, I know how God feels because I asked that question too. Am I not enough? And that's the most hurtful feeling to have, and to feel that you're not enough. And I'm like, do I make God feel like he's not enough when he's giving me so much, but I'm like, no, but I want this. I want a husband, God. And he's like, okay, that's good. Like, and you'll get that, but am I not enough for you to eat and enjoy the blessings that I've given you? And I don't know, that really just tore me up. But I'm gonna really try hard this Valentine's Day to enjoy my portion. I'm gonna clock into work and thank God for that. I'm going to put on something real cute and thank God that I even have clothes to put on. I'm going to turn on my lights and thank God that I have electricity in my apartment and I got children. There's some of my friends that don't have children. And God gave me that. Like, I have so much to be thankful for that I cannot let something like not having a husband at this moment distract me from the fact that I have a beautiful table set before me, a beautiful portion given to me. And so I hope that if you're single right now out there, that you enjoy your portion. And God's gonna give you what your heart desire, but he wants to know that he's enough.